Hello, everyone. Welcome. KN George podcast. So today I want to look at 12 lessons on leadership. 12 lessons on leadership. Now, one of the things that I have noticed is that leadership is, most people try to talk about leadership or to write about leadership, but I think most of them missed the point. I'm not sure, but I just think. So what I want to share today are 12 lessons that hopefully will impact your organization, will impact your life, will impact whatever role in life that you get to lead. So I always begin with this philosophy. All things rise and fall on leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Your marriage rises and falls on leadership. Your parenting rises and falls on you. Your business rises and falls on your leadership. Your ministry rises and falls on your leadership. Everything in life rises and falls on leadership. Governments rise and fall on leadership. And so even as I share this, I want you to have that philosophy somewhere in your mind that everything you will ever do in this life will rise and fall based on your leadership. So the point number one, or lesson number one about leadership, is understand each role in your organization. Understand each role in your organization. It's hard to be a leader when you don't really understand the roles and functions in your organization. So a leadership lesson to keep in mind is to take the time to learn and understand the different positions in your marriage. In your business. And yes, also in marriage, whatever it is. Marriage, family, whatever it is. So a leadership lesson to keep in mind is that you have to learn and understand the different positions in your marriage, in your business, in your organization. So know your organizational charts, which roles. Know your organization charts, which roles and responsibilities or major tasks, and the employees in each position if possible. Okay? You see, one thing that I loved about President Moi was that he knew everyone. He knew most people. He knew the chiefs, he knew the leaders, he knew the DCs, and he knew them by name, not just by knowing their position, but by name. And that gave him a lot of credibility. And so what you need to do as a leader is that you also need to do that so that you're able to get credibility. Credibility comes with knowledge. Not only does that let your employees know that you care about what they do, but it also helps you explain and promote the business to those who are curious to learn more about your organization. Imagine going to a place and someone asks about your business or someone asks you about your organization, only to start stammering because you do not have the facts on hand. Understand each role in your organization as a leader. Understand each role. It's hard to be a leader when you don't really understand the roles and functions in your organization. So you've got to understand the different positions in your business. Not just the different positions, but the different positions and their functionalities. How do they function? You've got to know your organization's charts, which roles and responsibility for what major tasks, who takes what, who is in charge of what, and the employees in each position as a leader. Number 2, encourage growth as a leader, because growth is an important word that is used in business. So whether it's in employees, sales, business relationships, or your own skills, growth is key to success. There is nothing else in life to do but to grow. Everything in life has been made to grow or for growth. A human being who is born for growth. So whenever you start something that you want to do, you have to start it with the idea that it is supposed to grow. So encourage growth among your people. Encourage growth in the organization. Encourage growth in the nation. Encourage growth, because all things that God has created are meant to grow. A business that doesn't grow and stays stagnant does not know how to move forward with new changes, and the organization won't succeed. So your business must know how to move forward. That means that having a growth mindset is essential to keeping your business moving in the right direction and providing plenty of support to those who work with you and for you. One of the main things that you have to cultivate in your organization is a growth mindset. You've got to encourage the people to keep asking the question, am I growing? Am I growing? And you also have to encourage them to keep asking the question, is what I am doing growing? Okay? Is this company growing? And as a leader, you also have to have the growth mindset and ask yourself the same question, am I growing? Before you go to are we growing, you start with am I growing? Are we growing? Number 3 lesson, take care of your team. Okay? So the assumption here is that as a leader, you are leading a team. And so there are people below you or people that are following you. And as such, it is your responsibility to take care of them. And there's this quote that says, a leader is only as good as the team below them. You're only as good as your team. Why? Because your team takes your ship. Whenever you're leading a team, you find yourself having influence that team. So there's this quote, I think I read somewhere. It says that an army of sheep led by a lion can defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. And that's a powerful quote, because it is not about the army, it is about the leader. So all things rise and fall on leadership. Take care of your team. That means that one of the most important jobs you have as a leader is to take care of your team and let them know that you are their biggest supporter. When the team knows that they are important to the organization, they are listened to and respected, and they have a leader that wants the best for them, they want to perform better and help the business succeed. This also reduces the amount of employee turnover you have and your hiring costs. So always as a leader, take care of your team. Number 4, be a source of inspiration. Okay? In leadership is all about inspiration. A leader doesn't just have to manage the business and make decisions. You also need to be a source of inspiration for the team underneath you. You see, the challenge that we are having today is that most leaders are stuck in the hierarchy and the system. They are stuck in the business. They are stuck in making decisions, that they have forgotten that there are people with them, that they are leading people. Now, a leader who is not inspiring will have an uphill battle to convince their team that they should be followed. Okay? And someone say that if you're a leader and no one is following you, you are only taking a walk. Now, usually that is a very nice statement, but I also believe that leadership is beyond just being followed. As much as that is important, leadership is also what we call self-leadership. But in this case, when we are talking about inspiration, we are talking about people who are following you. So you should be a leader who inspires. Be open, create positive change, take responsibility, be passionate about work, make unselfish decisions, and have a vision and focus that others can look up to. And people can help you to stand apart from others and shine as a leader, especially when they have a vision that they can follow. As an inspiring leader, you are a person that people want to follow, but you've got to be very, very inspiring. Number 5, accept and respond to feedback. Now, this is one of the biggest challenges that most leaders face. So it can be easy to get into the mindset that your word is the law and your decisions can't be questioned. Recently, I was speaking to some students on leadership, and one of them asked, how do I lead without being authoritative? And my response was, accept and respond to feedback. This is high school students, and it is very easy for them to get into this, but not just the high school students. I've also seen people in high positions who can resort to this very quickly, that your word is law and your decisions can't be questioned. The moment you get into that is what we call autocratic leadership or dictatorship. When you get into this kind of leadership, there is a lot of problems that begin to come your way. Oftentimes, you are the key decision maker for important calls, which means that you need to have confidence in yourself. But that doesn't mean that you can't improve. Listening to feedback from your team allows you to grow and become a better leader, as well as grounding you and helping you keep a level head. Leadership can really try you or test you. And most of the times you can find yourself, you have so much power and so much authority that if left unchecked, you may fall into the same things and the same problems that other leaders have fallen into before. Therefore, don't allow yourself to get there, but allow people in your life, allow people that are following you to speak into situations, to tell you, to make you a better leader, to give you feedback, because it allows you to grow, it allows you to become a better leader, and it allows you to, it grounds you and helps you to keep a level head. All right, so it can be easy to get into that mindset that your word is law, but be very careful and be extremely alert. Number 6, learn to be flexible and adaptable. Now, this has to deal with rigidity. Leaders who cannot be flexible. Now, I'm not talking about last-minute flexibility, though that is also key and that is also important. But I'm talking about the flexibility of ideas, adaptability of situations, because business doesn't always go as planned. And one of the most important leadership lessons you can learn is to be flexible and adaptable when things change. There's a lesson we call adaptive leadership style. This is the kind of leadership style where people actually adapt to different situations. You adapt yourself. You adapt your leadership to different styles. So whether it's a campaign launch that starts off differently than anticipated, a change to regulations or rules, restructuring your organization, or any of the other hundreds or thousands of disruptions that can occur, you need to be strong enough to lead the team through it. You see, personally, I have problem with this. I have a problem with adapting. I have a problem with flexibility because once I plan things and I want them to go in a particular way, my mind is usually set to that particular way. And having to change and having to be flexible is something that I struggle with, or what we call my area of growth is flexibility and adaptability. Because when I say we meet at 8 a.m. and we start, or we meet at 9 and we start something, or we do something, my mind is set there. So I'm learning. When we say we are starting class at 5, or we are doing a session at this time, or we are meeting at this time. So I'm learning to be flexible, that there could be other factors that could affect those schedules. So let's learn to be flexible and adaptable. Now, I'm not saying that we allow every excuse to come. I'm just saying, let us be flexible and adaptable. Number 7, burnout can hinder your leadership abilities. Okay? Now, as a leader, there are many things that you are expected to do. Many different hours than most employees, if you are a leader in the corporate world. You are expected to be available 24 hours, 7 days a week for issues that arise and manage many stressful situations throughout the day. However, in order to perform at your best, you need to keep an eye on your own health. Most leaders don't do this. We don't take care of our health. We don't exercise. We don't eat well. We don't rest enough. Burnout is a serious condition that can occur when you live under too much stress, and it can make you ineffective as a leader. Take time to protect your mental and emotional health. It will pay off during down the line. Now, there's something we call the compound effect, and the compound effect is simply means that at the end of the day, or at the end of it all, whatever you have been investing your time in will come back to you, and it will come back compounded. It is almost like the law of increase, that if you put time in everything that you do, there will definitely be an increase. It's almost like investment. When you invest money consistently to one in an organization, or consistently keep saving, the compound effects will be so brilliant for you that you will be able to enjoy the money. You will have interests. And the same thing applies to when you do not rest. You keep working and working and working without rest. And as a leader, there will be compound effects. And these compound effects will lead you to burnout, will lead you to stress, will lead you to a lot of troubles if you are not careful. Number 8, hire the right people for the right positions. It is one thing to get people into a bus. It is another different thing to get the same people into a bus but have them sit at the right seats. Now, most leaders can mobilize people to work with them. But the problem is, do we get people, the right people, for the right positions? When you are leading a team and you have people looking up to you, and there are people who are constantly looking for your decisions and advice, it is wise to know who is the right person and what is the right position for them and what is the right job. Okay? So this is another leadership lesson you need to learn, being able to find the right people for the right positions. When you look at, for example, football, and you look at the Premier League, you realize that football teams or Premier League teams, they buy or they look for people, the right players for the right positions. And that is why some teams win and some teams lose, because they have either the wrong people in the right positions, or they have the right people in the wrong positions, or they even have wrong people for the wrong positions. The only way it works, the only way to win as a leader, is to have the right people in the right position. So you've got to be able, as a leader, to spot talent while it is still young, to spot potential before it is known, and begin to nurture it into the right direction. So when you have a team that excels at their tasks and a team that knows their roles, the entire organization can function smoothly and more effectively. This is what we call the trait leadership, where you look at the traits of a person to determine the kind of position they can get. And you can actually find the trait leadership assessment tests, which are available online, and use that to actually find the right people. So when you have a team that excels at their tasks and knows their roles, the entire organization can function smoothly and more effectively. That also allows you to focus on your own job rather than try and find out where the kinks in your system are. When you have confidence in your team, you will find it easier to excel as a company. When you invest in your team, you will not have to invest extra time trying to find out what they are doing. Okay, then number 9, your goals can't go before the company or before the organization. In other words, if you're a leader in a company and you have visions, if you're a leader in an organization and you have a vision that is differing from the organization's goal, you've got to sacrifice your own goals and your own dreams for the goals and the dreams and the vision of the organization. In other words, the organization's vision takes preeminence. You put yours at a place where you can pick it up later when you're out. Leaders often have big dreams and high inspirations for the organizations they work in or run. They are thinking several steps ahead and know the long-term goals that they want to set for the organization. However, you can often find yourself focusing too much on your own goals and not what needs to be done for the company. Remember, as long as you're in that organization, your responsibility is that organization. So listen to feedback and learn how to listen to your team, because it will help you manage everyone's expectation. Let me repeat that. Listen to your team. Okay? Number 10, be honest and upfront with your team. A common fault among us leaders is keeping information to yourself and not sharing a key data or decisions with team members. This is a huge problem among many leaders today. You want to keep information to yourself and you want to make decisions without bringing out or without sharing the full information. So you make decisions that already feel as if it is your own decisions that you're making, which creates a divide or a division between employees and leadership team. And so you create a challenge and you make it very difficult to have open communication. Rather than hiding information from your team, try to be open, honest, and upfront. Okay, I know someone is listening and saying, well, there is some information that I cannot really share with the team. And I agree, but then you've got to share the information that you can share with the team. Don't just make unilateral decisions that make the team feel as if they are not involved. Remember, your leadership success or your leadership effectiveness can only be accepted or can only have influence if the team is following you. So big changes and decisions that come out of nowhere can unsettle team members and make them feel insecure in their roles. Number 11, learn from past mistakes. What I've learned in my leadership journey is that mistakes are going to happen. It is impossible to avoid some of these mistakes. You're going to make decisions that are not right. You're going to take corners that you thought were wise, but they are not. And this is something that happens to every leader because we don't have perfect leaders. You will make mistakes. Okay, so first of all, let's agree on that. If you haven't made mistakes yet, you are about to make them. As long as you're in leadership, you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to make some wrong decisions. You will bring in people into your life that you did not have to bring. You'll bring the wrong people sometimes. And sometimes you'll kick out the right people without knowing, because it's called mistakes. One of the most important leadership lessons you can learn is how to take a previous error and use it and use what you've learned to improve your future decision making and leadership choices. Don't kick out the right people to bring in the wrong people. A past mistake should not be a point of embarrassment or shame, but a lesson that can improve your decisions and help you grow as individuals. And this is why most leaders don't really agree and don't accept mistakes, because they feel it is an embarrassment. They feel it is a shame. But the moment you take mistakes as embarrassment or shame, then you will never learn. There are no lessons for you. But if you take it as a lesson, you can improve from those mistakes. By taking time to examine why a mistake was made and how you can change that situation, you'll be able to be a better leader. Number 12, keep trying and never give up. Keep trying, never give up. Leaders carry a heavy burden of being the key figure in times of crisis and adversity. In fact, when you are a leader, you will always constantly face challenges. You will always be the one that people are fighting. You'll always be the one receiving the criticism, because as a leader, you are the face of the organization. You are a soft target. Okay, when all eyes are on you, it is important to keep your head up and never give up. When teams trust their leader to get through the tough times, they'll be even more willing to listen during good times. So in difficult times, don't give in, don't give up. In hard times and moments when you feel like you are the whole organization is going down the drain, be the voice of soberness, be the voice of reason, be the eyes that can see through the storms, and the wind that can carry, the wings that can carry the organization through. When in the valleys, be that person who navigates the valleys with the team, so that when the sun rises again, people will trust you, people will believe you, people will listen to you during the good times. That means that one of the most important leadership lessons you need to learn is how to find alternative solutions and options so that your organization doesn't come to a halt. You've got to be an open-minded leader, a leader that understands, a leader that has creativity, a leader that has different options, meaning you have to think through issues and think through things. When you can prove to your team that you're committed to the business, they'll want to commit alongside you. When you prove to them that you're committed to the goal, they will want to commit with you. And every leader in this life wants a team that follows them. They want a team that listens to them. They want a team that respects them. You want a team that can lead you, that you can lead and they can help you to lead. So let me go back to the 12 lessons. Number 1, understand each role in your organization. Number 2, encourage growth. Number 3, take care of your team. Number 4, be a source of inspiration. Number 5, accept and respond to feedback. Number 6, learn to be flexible and adaptable. Number 7, burnout can hinder your leadership abilities. Number 8, hire the right people for the right positions. Number 9, your goals can't go before the company. Number 10, be honest and upfront with your team. Number 11, learn from past mistakes. And number 12, keep trying and never give up. So I want to say thank you for joining me for this wonderful podcast. And if you have any questions or comments about leadership, and if you on the 12 lessons, if you want me to add any other lesson, or you have a question, you need clarity, please send me a message, and I pray that you will be blessed. Thank you, and God bless you.